pag-uusapan natin yung gabi, gaya ng sabi ko, meron tayong guest at ang kanyang pag-uusapan ay ang kanyang organisasyon. Ang pangalan ay AKABA at ano siya, no? Preserving Philippine Indigenous Weaves and Promoting Peace Process. Okay. At ito siya. Oh, di ba? Ang ganda. Di ba? So, siya si Manolo Isada Mariano. Siya ay graduate ng Ateneo de Manila University at isa din siyang nagdi-DJ siya eh. Alam ko sa isang radio station before. So baka gusto niyang bumalik sa ganong ano no, sa ganong trabaho. Ako nakwento niya sa akin kanina. Pero ayan, ay hindi ko alam kung oh my God, siya ba yung intern namin o yung ex niya? Hindi ako sure. Pero tanungin natin. Baka dalawa sila. I'm so sorry. Ayan, so i-welcome natin si Manolo. Hello!
Hey. Intern mo ko. Intern mo ko.
Sorry.
Intern siya ni Sir Ed. Ako taga-design mo ng graphics. Hello.
Correct. Oo nga. Okay. I'm so sorry. Alam mo na.
So long ago. You were my well, no, next to my radio job, you were my second boss ever.
Oh, wow. Well, wala namang boss-boss sa mundo ng SEDPI. Ganyan. Okay. So, bakit naman daw ganyan kulay ang buhok mo? Anong gusto mong palabasin at gusto mong i-explain?
May pinaglalaban kasi ako. No, I'm just kidding. Well, honestly, what I do is a lot of design work. It's a lot of interpretation and personal expression. I guess sometime last year, I wanted to do something. So my hair has been white for a year now. Kasi di ako pinayagan mag-tattoo. So nagpahulay na lang ako ng buhok.
Sino naman kailangan pumayag? Diba? Kanino ka ba nagpapaalam?
Si Mami. Ano ka ba? Wala tayong pinagpapaalaman. Wala na. Ayaw na natin.
Actually si Edwin kakapatattoo lang niya eh. Meron siya dito
wow.
So magbubuong siya dito. He already has a warrior here. Tapos yun nga, lagi niya akong mag-tattoo na rin daw. Pero sabi ko, it's really not for me. Ayan. Okay. So let's talk about AKABA.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that.
That's what AKABA is all about.
Well, AKABA first and foremost, and how I want to communicate it with people, it's a lifestyle fashion brand. First. Mm-hmm. And the plan and what we've been doing for the past 7 years is to make bags, shoes, clothing, jewelry out of hand-woven fabric from all over the Philippines. And when I say all over the Philippines, it's from Ilocos up north down to Sulu. And I guess that's where the social impact comes in. So first, as a business, as a lifestyle and fashion brand, and second, as a social enterprise, we do try to support and create sustainable environments for community-based enterprises to thrive in.
Right. Oo. Nakita ko nga ito yung mga brand principles mo. So naloka ako. You have 4 brand principles. So run down mo naman kami dyan. So culture, quality, impact, and design. Anong ibig sabihin yan?
Right. So with culture, we do try to work with traditional patterns and traditional prints, traditional colors, and traditional methods. So there are different kinds of handwoven fabric and weaving cultures all over the Philippines. So for example, sa Ilocos and mostly in Luzon, yun yung mga malalaking looms. Those are inspired by Latin American weaving traditions. And then down south, you have your backstrap weaving mechanisms. Those are inspired by Southeast Asian traditions naman. For South, for example, they use naturally dyed geotextiles like abaka, ganon. And then for the North, they use cotton, polyester. Tapos iba-iba yung expression ng culture nila. So for Ilocos, they like featuring mga palay. They like featuring fish, ice, ganyan. Like whatever they see in the environment. For South Cotabato, they feature patterns that come to them in their dreams. That's why they're called
correct.
Like Cebu. In Sulu, for example, traditionally we think color and having a lot of color is traditionally feminine. But actually, in Tausug cultures, the more colors you have, it's for men and for wealth and stuff like that. So we do try to showcase that. We try to showcase that. Kung saan tayo napapadpad, kaya kung saan din tayo nagkakalat.
Okay, so ito yung mga sample na products mo. Can you walk us through to this sample selection that I got from you.
So we have knapsacks, backpacks. Knapsacks are yung may drawstring, may tali. Backpacks, the zipper. We have travel bags, duffel bags. We have tote bags for women. We have bucket bags, wallets. What have you. We have shoes. We have polo shirts. Unfortunately, I'm not wearing one right now. But anything that you can slap hand woven fabric on, we try to make it modern. I think that's one brand principle that we stand by. Before we came along kasi hand-woven fabric was usually associated with an older demographic. Yung mga mas matatanda, 30, 40 plus kasi may appreciation sila for this.
Ryan, sakit na ba yan? Matatanda talaga, 30, 40 plus.
Kayo. No, when I was younger, I started this business. Remember, I started this business at 21. And for some reason, we had me and my co-founders. We appreciated ang ganda ng fabric yun. Pero people in our age group, weren't as appreciative. So it was a matter of using that material and turning it into something na dadalhin sa office, dadalhin sa bakasyon, iraram pa sa BGC, ganun. So,
parang naging casual wear siya.
It naging casual. I think the term that I like to use a lot is we democratized it.
Right.
Okay. Because it is expensive, eh. But then we use it in a way that makes it more accessible and cheaper and palatable.
Without sacrificing quality, di ba? Pero you mentioned that AKABA is a social enterprise. So what makes you a social enterprise?
Well, I'd like to think, kasi di ba iba-ibang definition. Ano po, Sir Vince, pinagtuturo mo ako sa mga class mo noon pag may trips ka. Sinusunod ko lang yung PowerPoint mo. Well, there are multiple definitions and multiple schools of thought. But the way I see it and how I define it in AKABA is as our business grows, our social impact grows. Our supply chain is fully dependent on our communities. And if they're not growing their capacity, if they're not growing their numbers, because weavers they tend to be much older. So they're vulnerable sila sa sakit. Senior citizens, we're dealing with senior citizens. So if they're not able to grow their numbers, if they're not able to grow their capacity, then we can't grow our business because there are diba? So as we grow, we do try to help in building their capacity. For example, in our previous years, we built livelihood centers in Araullo, in Kalinga, and we provided looms, sewing machines, whatever communities, not everything, but definitely what we can provide at the time, aside from the financial support, we provided to them.
Okay. Tapos you mentioned nga na you make it more accessible and affordable. As you can see here, yung price points nyo nga, considering other brands. So, mas mas abot kaya nga talaga. So, about 2,000 to 5,000 pesos compared sa iba.
It's aligned with our demographic, no? For young professionals, ito lang yung income. So, dun tayo sa stock. And what's nice is these young professionals are willing to pay for expensive foreign brands. So it's a matter of really presenting them an alternative that's local, but at the same time with the same quality. Kaya ang maganda dyan kasi is the impact to the weavers. Eh. So when you work with weavers, and this is one thing that we've discovered throughout the years, when you go to, for example, Ilocos, punta ka sa palengke, yung mga nagbebenta din ng inabel, hindi sila yung weaver. Kinukuha lang nila. So weaver traders lang sila. So they get it at 50. At the time, they got it to 50. They got it at 50. And then now they would get it at 150. And then they would retail it at 350, 550. So what we do, we go directly to the weaver. And then we pay them with 350 to 550. So it's somewhere between triple, 5 times, 10 times their income from before. So automatically, ang laking change niya. In net income, napakalaki.
Tapos, yan yung sa weavers, and then you also have the assemblers and the sewers.
Yes. Well, this was before. Unfortunately, we had to change our setup because of the pandemic, because syempre, our capacity inside the office is very limited. But what we used to do before was give people their day rate. So we paid them minimum wage. And then, per arawan ng bayad na lang, hindi per piece. Which is
Okay.
usually the common practice kasi for manufacturing eh. Usually
Uh,
hindi talaga at binabarat.
uh, uh,
But well, we do try to maintain a fair price naman. Now with the pandemic, of course, there were a lot of changes to the business model. There were a lot of changes with the supply chain.
mm,
We do pay them per piece, but we pay them at a premium. So, for example,
okay.
yung rates sa iba, 50. Ang rate sa amin, 150, 180,
Uh,
200. Still
so may
higher, still higher.
significantly higher pa rin siya. Okay, you showed us,
Mm.
you gave me some pictures, pero i-explain mo naman sa amin ano tong mga pictures na to. So
Ooh.
ito, from Ilocos Norte, what are we seeing? Bakit lalaki to?
Yeah, no, this is our first community. This is our first community that we set up in 2014. We secured funding from NGOs. We did the technical training with DOST, Department of Science and
Mhm.
Technology, and then we also had their parang OJT sa Paway, the women leaders of Paway. These are people that are based in Gawad Kalinga. And then we just provided them loans raw materials to set up their own weaving business na. So
Okay.
from training until production, until their initial batches of production, we were supporting them. And then
Mm.
now, they and then well, that's first of many.
Ah,
There are a lot
so
of
anong
projects.
tawag
May iba pa ba akong ano dyan?
anong tawag sa weave dito sa Ilocos Norte?
Inabel.
Inabel. So
It's
Inabel yan.
Ilocano for
Oo.
handwoven, basically. Yan.
Oo.
Meron pa ba?
Okay.
Meron pa ba binigay sa'yo? Lahat ba binigay ko
And
sa'yo?
then,
Sige, game.
ito, sa Kalinga.
Yeah. Yes, so this was a privately funded endeavor. This was funded by an NGO partner. So that's also part of our business model. NGOs with CSRs,
Mhm.
they partner with us. They channel the funds through us, and then we're in charge of implementing the program. We dispatched 14 sewing machines.
Okay, mukhang na-disconnect yata si, si EJ. Okay, I think he'll be back in a bit no, for us. Okay. Pero nakakatawa kasi ito. Ayan, okay. He's back. Okay, what happened?
Connected to my phone lang eh. But, yeah.
Okay.
It was a 6 month project. We
Mm,
sent our entire factory production unit there to
mm,
train people that normally don't know how to make bags. So the fun part here is before weavers lang sila, and then we came along and then we taught them how to make their own bags under their own brand,
aha,
with their own branding, with their own
correct.
as an independent business unit, and that's a really 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 great project.
Oo. So naging ano,
It's
no,
actually
there
not my project, project niya to. Project niya.
so,
Wala tayong paglabag na pangalan. Basta pag sabi ko siya, alam mo na yun.
participate na sila sa ano no sa higher value chain ano
Yes,
so
yes.
oo. Anyway, so ito namang isa. Ito sa Sulu. So
Sulu,
what's this?
Basilan, Marawi. Sulu, Basilan, Marawi is basically naka-group siya into
Mm,
one sector, no? Because our
okay.
partner there is the Office of the Vice President.
Okay.
In terms of securing our safety, our accommodations, of course, so we work with them, and then
Uh-huh.
the military, the PNP. Basically, a lot of it is needs assessment. After the needs assessment, the design intervention. So I
Mhm.
did say that we respect traditional expressions of how they express it in handloom fabrics, but at the same time we do design intervention because there are some cases na you really have to tweak some things a little bit. I'll give you an example, like neon green and orange, diba? I mean,
Ah,
that has to be curated a little bit. So that's what we did
ah,
there. And of course, we made direct connections now with the weavers. Because in
okay.
those parts of Mindanao, you can't help but work with traders. You can't help
Mhm.
but work with traders, of course, because of a plethora of issues. But well, thanks to the OVP, we're directly in contact with them, and then we order directly. South Cotabato also. Recently, we did a fundraiser in AKABA. We raised 2.5 million pesos worth of donations for face
Mm.
masks, face shields for indigenous communities.
Wow.
South Cotabato and actually, yeah, Southern Mindanao in general have been recipients of these donations. And we do
Okay.
try to continually support their welfare in general. So,
So ano are your shops open already
Oh, not at
or
the moment.
hindi? So when are
Not
you
at the
planning to
moment.
open?
Well, well, across the board, we have 20 stores, mostly in Metro Manila. It's some stores in Metro Cebu.
Uh-huh.
We closed their stores temporarily on March 16 upon the
Mm.
declaration, and we've been closed since. We
Mm-hmm.
had to move all of our entire business online, which has been, well, it has been a blessing. It's been good for the business, but at the same time, it has its different set of challenges.
Mm.
And then we are looking to reopen our stores on September 15. Slowly, slowly.
Okay.
We'll be opening one store, two stores per weekend until we get to, fully operational status, I hope.
Right. So saan yung mga
Nakakapagod.
stores? Where are the stores located?
Well, our biggest store is in Eastwood Mall, and that's been open since 2017. We have a 100 square meter store in Alabang. We have a store in Ayala Center, Cebu, SM City, Cebu, Mactan, and then UP Town Center, SM North EDSA. Most major malls, we have presence
Uh-huh.
in most. And hopefully we get to open more. Because before the pandemic, we were supposed to have another 20 branch expansion on top of the 20 branches. So obviously that was put on hold. Well, and currently we're assessing the prospects of opening more because our priority right now is to service and open the existing ones again.
Uh-huh.
Kung
Okay, wait lang.
makabukas ulit, kaya.
Okay. Pero ang curious ako, no? So you're all in these
Mhm.
malls. Ano yung naging arrangement with the malls now that you're not able to, are you
Oh
still paying
God.
rent? Anong, ano?
Well, honestly, depende sa ganda.
Ano
There's no
yung,
set. There's no set policy for malls. It really depends on, again, sa ganda check. It's how you negotiate with your leasing manager. So we were able to do agreements na no rent. We were able to do that. Well, not all were given that that whatever it is, kind act of
uh,
kindness.
uh,
And then now that we are reopening, they will be charging us a percentage of our sales lang and not the base rent.
wow, but
Actually
it's a good arrangement,
no.
ha? But how,
I have to say that mall operators, based on our experience, have
uh-huh.
been very generous. Have been very generous. I'm not sure if everybody has experienced the same, but
Well,
the mall operators, they have been cooperative. Yeah.
oo. Well, I think they have to kasi grabe naman kayong na-overcharge for so many years.
Well, true. True. True naman
Diba? So,
talaga. No, well, we're seeing a wave of closures left and right. No, it's the small
mm-mm.
businesses that are pulling out of the stores, and you have to understand, small businesses accompany for 80% of the total leasable spaces in malls. Not in floor area, but in leasable spaces. So yung mga kiosk, yung mga maliliit na
Oo,
nasa gitna, mas marami
correct.
yun kesa doon sa mga malalaking stores
Yeah.
na full blown eh. And if you have empty hallways and empty food carts, ganyan, well, definitely it's not good for any mall for that matter, especially here in the Philippines.
Oo.
So, I guess
Okay.
win-win.
Sige, so sabi mo you're online now. So how are
Yeah, we
going
are.
to buy
Absolutely.
our products?
Yeah, it's www.akaba.co. It's .co. We're actually on our end of season sale. We're launching a new collection. Oh, bongga na ang new collection. Bakit pandemya?
Okay.
We're launching a new collection in a 3 months, so we're clearing out our old stuff. So it's definitely the last chance you guys can get this. And then when we do open our stores again, and yung mga
Mhm.
old designs, and then when the new designs come in,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm so excited for that because it's a totally different look. Definitely with the pandemic happening, there are a lot of stuff that's happening right now. Like this is happening right
Oo
now.
nga. No, I saw that. Oo. So
Um,
weeks yan. Magkano
so
yan? How much is that?
well, this one retails for around 280 if I'm not mistaken per piece.
Okay.
280. Well, plus shipping. So, ano man na.
Oo. Hindi, tsaka tama yun.
um,
Kasi 280 because you're paying for the weavers, for the assemblers and all that, di ba? We
no,
should,
not just
we
that.
should,
The overhead.
oo,
The
oo nga.
overhead, syempre, the marketing cost. So, even if you're online, not a lot of people understand how the digital economy works. If you're
Mm.
online, maraming distractions. So you really have to pay. Well, unfortunately, you have to pay your way to get people's attention. You have to go to
Correct.
Facebook, Google Ads, Instagram. So it's not
Mm.
as easy or as cheap as people
Mm.
think. Actually, there was a time na parang yung digital marketing expenses namin matched the rental expenses
Oh my
because
God. So
no, it was
expensive.
too loud because everybody went online at the same time, 'di ba? Sino ba naman ako?
Agawan. Agawan.
We are a startup brand, so really had to spend and invest in the digital infrastructure to put everything together.
Correct. Okay. And of course, meron tayong surprise para sa mga viewers natin.
Kala ko
So,
para sa akin.
alam ko ba sa'yo? Hindi para sa mga viewers. Gaga. Ayan. So, this is a discount code, right? So,
Yes,
we're
yes.
thanking you for that. So, how does this work?
So all you have to do is log into our website, add to cart, whatever you like. It's already at 50% off. And then when you check out, just type in Sir Vince AKABA, you get an additional 15%. Para sa'yo lang yan, sir, ha? Para sa'yo lang yan.
So, nakakatuwa kasi on sale ka na ngayon, tapos on top of that, may 15% pa.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sige. So wait lang ha. I'll type your website, akaba.co. Bili na kayo.
Yeah.
Ayan.
If you guys want to follow us on Instagram too, it's AKABACO, AKABACO. That's the same for Facebook and for Instagram.
Ayan pala. Sorry. I have to show this. Nakalimutan ko mag-taker. Sorry. Ayan. Okay. Sir Vince Akaba.
Ay, may taker si boss. May taker si boss.
Ayun. So, thank you very much for your gracing Usapang Pera. And ayun, sa mga katulad mo, social entrepreneurs and mga small businesses, what would be your advice to them to weather this pandemic?
I think this is the best advice I've ever received during this entire pandemic. The worst that you can do is to hope that things will go back to normal. The first step is really accepting that things will be different moving forward. And you have to move fast. You have to move fast. In a span of 2 months, we changed our entire supply chain, how our production works and our manufacturing works. That way we can keep up because online, pababaan ng presyo versus retail. These are all of these realities. All of these realities you have to accept that they're here for the long run. Because I've seen a lot of mistakes being made by a lot of people when it comes to weathering this pandemic. They're like, sige, 2 buwan na lang or 1 buwan na lang, back to normal tayo. Pag mag-open tayo, yung benta natin balik sa dati. Or yung marketing natin, pareho pa rin, no changes whatsoever, or content. No. That's the first step. Whatever industry you're in, the realities are different. Food service, the reality of food service is different now. The reality of fashion is different. The reality of retail, a lot. So it's really understanding where you are in the playing field and what's new about your playing field and doing something about it.
So what you're saying is to accept and adapt to the new normal, so to speak.
Yes.
Huwag nang umasa na babalik ang nakaraan.
Ano ba? Sabi na kaya ayoko mag-guest sa'yo Alam ko na may mga banat kang ganyan
Okay. No, but we really, really wish you well at syempre, AKABA to flourish and to still grow kasi nga, yun, nakikita namin marami talagang magandang impact on the ground. At marami, kailangan natin ng mga taong katulad mo, mga kabataan, who will change the world.
Uy, matanda na ako, 27 na. Wala pa akong mag-30.
Bata pa yan, super bata pa. Ayun, okay. Thank you very much, Manolo. So, ayun, next time mag-guest ka ulit. Or ako naman mag-guest sa show mo.
Yeah. Gusto ko pwede ba ako maki-co-host na lang din sa Usapang Pera?
Ikaw, weekly co-host, ganyan.
ako ang bahala sa mga bagets. Sure.
Pwede sa mga millennials. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. God bless everybody. Keep safe, stay at home, and as much as possible, keep healthy. Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye. Ayan, mga kaibigan, nakita natin si tatawagin ko sana siya sa kanyang nickname pero ayaw na niya. Kay Manolo. Nakakapanibago pala, no? Tatawag tayo ng kanilang gustong pangalan na bago. Ayan. Okay, so maraming salamat Manolo for joining us tonight. At sa mga gustong bumili, no, you just go to akaba.co and pumili na kayo ng mga products na gusto nyo doon. Napakaganda actually ng kanyang mga produkto. At gamitin ang Servings AKABA and take advantage of it kasi nakita ko nga kanina may 50% off, may 60% off na, no, naka-sale na kasi mag-new release na daw sila. At on top of that, you get additional 15% off kapag nag-check out kayo when you use Servings AKABA as a discount code. Okay, so tignan nga natin ang pulso ng ating mga viewers ngayon. Approve ba kayo sa business model ng AKABA? So sa tingin ninyo, nakakatulong ba ito sa ekonomiya ng Pilipinas, sa mga marginalized communities, lalong-lalo na sa mga indigenous people natin? So pusuan nyo naman or i-like or lagyan nyo ng emoticon ang ating video para malaman natin ang pulso ng mga manonood ni Sir Vince. At syempre, lagi nating tatandaan ang pagyaman na pag-aaralan. Okay, at gusto ko lang mag-plug na we have a rental property joint venture available for you. This rental property joint venture is a good source of passive income. It is also a good inflation hedge. This is very liquid kasi you can redeem your joint venture contribution anytime you want. Low capital requirement to participate in a real estate property, a rental property business, no? Lalong-lalo na kung wala ka pang pang-construct ng sayo talaga. So we have a property, it's called Marzan 1 and the base value of this property is 16.5 million pesos and our organization is offering 8.2 million pesos for joint venture. 100,000 pesos po ang isang unit ng joint venture at profit sharing tayo sa rental income. So out of the 8.2 million, we started offering this and we only have 1.5 million remaining. So kung kayo po ay interesado, huwag nang papahuli. Baka ayan na naman, no? Mag-agaw-agawan na naman tayo dyan. So yung profit sharing natin, the rental income will be shared by joint venturers based on their contribution. Susubtract natin yung property management fee which will take care of the maintenance, the the legal kit, the selection of tenants, yun yung kasama sa property management. And then 7% tax payment to the government. So yung natitira, yan po yung paghahati-hatian natin. At ang estimated life ng ating property ay 25 years. So 25 years natin siyang mapapakinabangan. Ang estimate po namin ay 6 to 15% po in the next 20 years ang variable return niya. Okay? So if you're interested, just go to Vince Rapisura Facebook Messenger and send Marzan 1. Ayan pong picture na yan ngayon, yan yung nakikita ninyo na picture mismo ng ating ng ating rental property.
Thanks for watching. Kung may kapamilya, kaibigan o kakilala kang tingin mo ay magiging interesado dito sa video, please share to them or tag them in the comments section. Siyempre, kung nagustuhan mo ang video, pusuan mo na ito. Subscribe ka na rin. As always, feel free to write your questions, comments, and opinions respectfully.